A modern guide to fit and arsenal construction for two-handed bowlers. The #1 new release hit worldwide on Amazon. Find out the secrets of the pros, pitches and grip selection, what balls to use, when and why. Learn step by step how to lay out your own equipment and so much more. Become a better bowler and score more now. A modern guide to fit and arsenal construction for two-handed bowlers. Available now worldwide on Amazon and most major online retailers. Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of LaneSide Reviews. As always, I am the bearded beast, Rob Johnson, joined once again by Scoops Porter, and somewhere in the ethos is old guy Wayne. But, I don't know. But we're about to go to the lanes with multiple styles to check out some brand new equipment and see how it stacks up. Alright guys, we are down on the lanes with our resident speed dominant player.
Yeah, he's bowling on the high friction house shot.
And come on, fall!
Wow.
Dynamic
Core 2?
Dynamic Core 2. So we are looking at the pin down Mesmerize that we'd suggested for seniors and players who need to control the pocket a little bit.
Yeah.
And you could see that's exactly what Wayne did there.
Yeah. It rolled pretty good, though.
It rolled really well.
Yeah.
Now, this is a strong surfaced ball out of the box.
They sanded it at 1500.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so that's a lot of surface to start out with.
And you know what? When you throw it, the first couple of shots, you can tell.
Yeah. Wow. Let's see.
And when you get around it a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
You can see how much earlier that was from the first one he threw.
Yeah.
This is kind of our deep dive. This is the second in our deep dive video. Yeah. If you watched the first one, we went through the layouts.
Yeah.
Now we're taking it down to the actual lanes here, and we're starting on a typical average high friction house shot.
Yeah, exactly.
With your typical average old guy who, out of the gate, when there's a lot of oil down, your thing doesn't exactly look good in his hands.
No.
So he needs something that's going to be continuous, but it isn't going to jump off the end of the pattern.
Yeah, it's going to roll early, like you said, with the pin down, control the pocket, get it there so you're getting your nines.
Yeah, at least 9. Yeah, you can see there that almost left an 8-pin. That was weird. Who is he, Randy Peterson?
I was going to say, watch this one. Watch where it spins up.
Oh, look at it.
And
you can see, even though he is... getting it way out. It hooked. It was kind of unusual there. It hooked stopped.
Yeah.
For him. I like that motion for him for the first ball out of his bag.
Well, for sure. Because you're not driving through on the fresh pattern. It's getting down there clean, and it's not blowing past like the 8-pin. And
sometimes for Wayne, when he's throwing his symmetrical stuff early, and he gets too far out and it becomes too over-under...
Wow, that was a good one.
Look how controlled this is for him. It just sets up and rolls.
Yeah.
And that's really the big difference that I see with Wayne when we go between the symmetrical and the asymmetrical equipment. Yeah. We always have this fight online with fans about is he a true speed dominant player or not?
Yeah.
Because he's still slow, but he's like also no revolutions.
Yeah.
So he's kind of that weird representation of both speed dominant and
rev challenge.
Yeah. How does he do it?
Just because he throws so slow that his revs don't match when you look at the comparison charts and stuff. Right?
I feel like he started throwing a ball when King Tut went into the ground and it just hit the pocket.
Yeah.
And it came in left-handed. You can see it here. And I don't mind that hit. I really don't mind that hit. We talk a lot about how big is your pocket.
Yeah.
How wide, how light, how heavy you can hit and still carry. Here's Wayne with the benchmark ball. If he can get a ball that hits light, and you can see, same thing with our symmetric ball. If he can get it to carry, he can make moves off that.
Yeah. And you have more room to miss. So if you miss a little bit wide... and hit light, you got good. If you pull in a little bit, sometimes you can get the extra pins carry.
Now, you could really see it there. This ball ended up being... it's not actually that much different hook-wise. It's maybe, up to 4 boards, maybe 5 boards.
Yeah.
But look at how much earlier and the shape it creates compared to the bonus.
See, it started a little bit inside, gets a little bit outside.
And watch.
Yeah.
It's a good 3 or 4 feet earlier, and
Yeah.
it makes a motion and then just drives. It hooks, stop, and rolls.
Yeah.
And I think you'll be able to see it a little bit better here from the bottom. Now, the unfortunate part is we have to see the bottom part of Old Guy Wayne.
His legs.
At least it's not butt.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can see that one there, as most symmetrical balls do for him. It just doesn't have the same kind of carry through.
Yeah.
Now, we'd like a ball that drives all the way through the pocket, but if we're trying to control the lane, this hook-stop motion...
You can see they almost went off the same spot.
Exact same spot.
Yeah, bang.
But he had more pin action
Yeah.
from the Mesmerize.
Yeah. With the stronger cover, the bigger core, and then that dynamic core, it's got more... what's that fancy word they use? It starts with C.
Oh, the coefficient of restitution?
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of that Dynamic Core 2 and the core and stuff, I had a little bit in the layout video about how it's got those unusual facets in the side where, depending on where you drill in, you're going to hit the core in a different way. And you can see there on the bottom left-hand corner, if you drilled a pin-up ball, you're going to be going through one of those wings there, but a pin-down ball, you're really going to be taking a lot of mass out of
the center,
out of weird center places. Yeah. Or if you swing the ball out where the mass bias goes out on like a 45-degree angle, you're going through one of those wings.
Yeah.
It really makes where you drill your finger holes and your thumb hole and how deep they drill them have a big impact.
Yeah.
So here you are throwing the ball. I know you've already thrown one here, and it's already hooked a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience on the house pattern.
This ball hooks a lot. With this 500, 1500 surface, it rolls. Like you can see it. For me, it's rolling very soon.
That's at like 30 feet.
Yeah, and it's like, we thought we were going to be able to control the pocket with this, but when they said it's one of the strongest balls, I think this is crazy. Because it's still clean.
Yep.
But it's just, it gets through that first 15 feet clean because of that HK.
And then it digs in.
And it digs in with the
cohesion and then the Evo solid. Yeah.
So 2 really strong additives. It just, I'm like, wow.
Yes.
So we're going to keep moving a little bit more left.
Now, this will happen to a lot of people when they get this ball to the first. Is they're going to have to move left, and you'll see it kind of over-undered here.
Yeah.
What's a great way to change this reaction really easily?
We take it up to 2,000.
Yeah.
500, maybe go 500, 1,000, 2,000, or just hit it with a 2,000 pad just to get you like a few more feet of length, and then you can get a little bit more back right.
This game is all about distances.
Yeah.
Anybody can make the ball move 40 inches left to right, but controlling 60 feet is much, much harder. So maybe if you had a little bit more surface, or a little less surface in this case, maybe we can get the ball to the pocket maybe a little differently?
A little different. That was a bit better.
Because you can see you're still a little bit light.
Yeah. And that was a little bit more in the oil. I didn't quite get it as a friction, so it had a little bit more skid that way too. Now, normally too, I would maybe come around the ball, but we already know that if we do that with this ball, it hooks even more on the friction, right? Like it just very sensitive.
This ball definitely, you can create some huge changes in reaction with hand position.
Yeah.
So maybe if we change a little bit of surface here, maybe we can get a different reaction. Why don't you go ahead and give that a try there? Why don't you go give that a throw? Can we get you in the pocket?
I think maybe we can get there. Now look how much deeper that was too.
Huh.
Still light.
I bet you. You know what? I think even at 1,500, if we put just some compound on this, just to get it from like 35 feet down to 40 feet, think about how much more motion this has.
Yeah.
Because when Brunswick was talking about the biggest hooking ball, they may not have been talking about motion.
No.
They may have been talking about pure friction.
Yeah. Which I believe with those two kind of additives putting in there. I mean, HK is only going to get it so far down the lane. I mean.
Yeah. Now here you are. We got one more. I think one more here. Getting you to roll it a little bit more forward.
Yeah.
Now this is still the pin down as well.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. I really got in the friction, tried to get it to roll sooner.
Yep.
So it kind of almost rolled a little bit more out of energy, but it still had so much pop down lane. Like,
I think we got one more here.
Oh, we got one more?
Oh.
Try something a little bit more like that again.
And that's, you know what, we talk about changing hand positions. Just because a ball doesn't look good if you're coming around it, doesn't you mean you shouldn't try rolling it forward, doesn't mean you shouldn't change in surfaces.
Yeah.
Or we've said there have been very few bad balls ever made, but there are definitely times to not throw them. Like here's you are again, rolling it forward.
Yeah, that was much better.
Yeah.
Tried to get it a little bit more in so it didn't quite have such an angle to come back from.
Yep.
Because, I mean, it made it back to the pocket. It just was so far out, right?
Yeah.
So
here you are. Here's POOCS throwing it left-handed, quote-unquote left-handed.
It looks like my left hand right now. Because I really kind of came around that one and kind of give it a push.
You can still see it split the 8-9, though.
Splitting at 8-9.
That looked good.
Yeah.
So once again, we're going to put it up against the benchmark here, our bonus.
Yeah.
And we say this every time we use this ball because every company's got one like it.
Yeah.
And you can see just on this lane condition how smooth it is. Yeah. We have a fair amount of oil down.
Yeah.
This is a fresh medium condition. Now look at the difference between the bonus and the Mesmerize. We saw about anywhere up to 5 boards from Wayne.
There you go.
Say probably
pretty close.
5, 6, 7 minimum.
Yeah.
And then upwards of that, you got pretty deep.
Yeah.
On those last couple of shots.
You can get over almost over center arrow, I think.
Yeah, before you started rolling it forward, you went I think out to 35 there.
Yeah.
And you can see it starts 5 boards in. Still really early.
Yeah. And that's the thing is it has a lot of potential. Like on a house shot, I think you're going to need more surface. You're going to need to bring it up.
Yes.
Or like you said, put some compound on it. Something to just get you that extra little bit of distance.
Distance, yeah.
Right? Because a normal, like a medium house shot, it's going to have medium length, but it also has medium amount of oil. It's not really heavy and kind of flat, right?
And if you're in a high friction house like ours, our house is like almost 30 years old.
Yeah.
You know, you need something sometimes to get the ball just a little bit farther down.
Yeah.
And we're going to take one more look at it here in slow motion.
Not all of us can throw it Mach 7 anymore. So
God, I wish I could ever throw it Mach 7. Talk about rev dominant.
Yeah.
I threw a ball when Moses started, and Randy Orton got into the ring before my ball got to the pins. Holy moly. Yeah. All right, now here's an unusual one. Can't believe this, guys, but because we got a few balls, we got a rev dominant player back here.
Yay.
Look at this. All right, so here I am throwing it, and as I said, I went with a short pin because
thank God you did.
It hooks a lot. Yeah, look at the look on my face there. I had a feeling after talking to the guys at Brunswick that they said that this cover stock was something special. It was designed to handle everything, but it really handles oil well.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, great. Another ball that is going to dig in.
Yeah. But one thing we talked about, which we'll probably touch on in the other videos, is they wanted something also to compare to urethane.
Yes.
Right?
Something that you could play when you can't play urethane, but you got to get back inside.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good part for the next video.
Yeah.
So I went with short pin so I could retain as much energy as I could, knowing how strong this cover stock is.
That was a good one.
You could see, if you go back and watch that one, you can actually watch the ball slow down. You can watch it make its move all through the skid, hook, and roll phases.
You're almost like a drift car. You can just watch it go like this and then catch and go back forward.
Well, that's the benefit of having 500 plus rev rate and a less than 15 mile an hour ball speed. I am still rev dominant. Go figure.
Yeah.
So I made a huge jump right off the bat after watching you guys. I threw the first ball and it barely got to the Brooklyn side. I made a 6-board jump right off the bat. That one was a little flat.
Yeah.
I think I probably could have gotten a little bit wider.
Yeah.
But this is performance. This is a lot of performance.
I was going to say, most time when people drill a short pin, it's so they can play straighter, not move more left and get more control.
Yeah,
right?
it's supposed to be like a urethane ball with more hook down lane.
Yeah.
So without the carry down. It's
that's what I use mine for. I
know. It's supposed to be a control ball.
Yeah.
They can hook, but you're not expecting to hook the whole lane with it.
So.
And this, I think, is really part of the dynamics of this core. If you look at where the pin was on this ball, where the mass bias was, where the fingers drilled into look pretty much right through one of those big fat wings.
Yeah.
So it's going to have a huge impact.
Oh, that one was nice.
On the asymmetry of the ball. It's going to have a huge impact on the differential of the ball. And when you are drilling a short pin, that's what you want, is to be able to bring those numbers into a certain range.
Yeah.
And I got it. Oh, I got it on this one.
Well, that last one you saw that you got it deep in the heaviest part of the oil and you never exited the pattern.
Nope.
Right? So you were coming off that 40, 42, 45 feet end of the pattern there, and it just...
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Your senior players, you talked about you have a short pin.
Yeah.
Senior players can throw short pins as well. It allows them to get farther right and get it onto the friction more. That went out almost on the other side of the 8-pin.
Yeah.
They can get on top of the friction more and still control the ball with less ball speed.
Yeah.
For our two-handers, we saw my book is up there for sale.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it because we talk about different types of short pins.
Yeah.
Because there's different reasons to use them and different ways to use them and actually different layouts. And this one, I really like having this because in our house, as we've said many times, being high friction, I get very limited use of urethane.
Yeah.
Where you, as a matched player, get to play it way more.
Yeah.
I get a game out of it, and then I've blown out the back end, or it's hooking too early. Look at it come around the corner here. Ooh, just nice and...
Or it hooks too early and then doesn't come back.
That's true.
You push the oil down,
That was 15 boards left, by the way, from where I started.
Wow.
I'm just drifting back towards the lane. That's all I'm going to do is keep going left. Just keep going left and drift back towards the lane. I always had... If you look at the way I bowled when I was one-handed, I've always had a two-handed... way that I walk. I have that weird step out to the left and the weird crossover and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it works for something. Look at this. I got this one even farther out.
Look how much more that hook. You got the carry.
I got the carry. That's the Diamacor.
Yeah.
But you can see, get it out to that friction there. Short pin can still hook. You can put some rotation on it.
And wow.
Yeah. So here I am left-handed. Or quote-unquote left-handed. I don't want to make anybody angry out there. But just watch this. That's gorgeous. Through the 8-9. I didn't want to take the super deep one.
No.
Here we are with the Rattler. As we said with the bonus, if you compare these two balls together, the bonus and the Rattler, they're almost identical other than the cover stock.
Yeah.
And this is my benchmark. So... that looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good, yeah.
You can see it's fairly long. I use a 5.5-inch pin to pap to try to push the ball down as far as I can. When I want to control the lane, though, short pin, retain, tilt.
Yeah.
Watch this. It went down farther this time.
Farther than the Rattler.
And
it didn't quite hook its exit points a little bit further to the right. Didn't quite come across.
It was rather than being to the left of the 8-pin, it was between the 8-9. We're going to see it here again.
Watch it in the slow-mo.
So you can see it's down farther, and it has a better trajectory through the pins. So all in all, as we're going to see from the lower level here, watch it as it goes through the pins. We challenged ourselves in the first video to see what pin down looked like, and what short pin looked like, and on a house shot, it only does so much because there's all that free friction to the right and not all that oil in the middle. And you're gonna see it's used right here as I'm kind of hooking the lane. Yeah. God, look at that. Wow. Yeah, it does have a much better trajectory.
Yeah.
There is only one way for us to truly deep dive through this bowling ball, and that would be for us to listen to our fans who've been calling for us to go to the sports shots.
Yeah.
But we can't just go with one sports shot. No, we got to go through all the sports shots. So we actually are going to take you on a short pattern, which is the one that you struggle on.
Yes.
We're going to put Wayne on the long pattern, which should be the pattern that he struggles most on. And we're going to put me on any pattern because I'm a two-hander and don't know how to bowl yet. And we're going to see how this works.
Yeah.
So just follow us to the next video, and we'll see you there.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a show. So until next time, guys, we'll see you LaneSide.